Hey guys, welcome to this week's Sunday Spin, where we take the music that we're spinning this week. I'm Terry, here with Laura, as always, from Riot Squad Media. Just a couple things before we get started. We do have a pre-camp show, Riot Squad Media and Rubbish Records, at the Grace Ferry Skate Park on August 28th. We're going to have Stolen Wheelchairs, Froggy, Working Class Stiffs, Loud Loud, Brandon Ritchie. It's all ages, and they're going to be raising money for the South Philly Lunch, Punks of Lunch. Sorry about that. And yeah, so make sure that you bring just toiletries, anything that can help a fellow punk. Make sure give generously. We're gonna have some Riot Squad Media shirts. They're finally here. They're in our web store. If you want to grab yourself a copy, Laura's welding ours right now, so it's super cute. So yeah, make sure you grab yourself one, all different sizes, and yeah, I guess there's the show. So Laura, who are you spinning this week?
So this week, it's been a stressful week, I can't lie. So you guys know when I am stressed out, I like to kind of listen to stuff that makes me not so stressed. This album, though, I've been spinning for a good month now, and I can't put it down. I am going to go out and say it's probably in my top 5 of 2021 right now, and it's not even that punk rock. So that's what's really crazy to me. I went with Wavves, their latest album. Actually, I believe their 8th studio album. It's called Hideway. Came out on June 16th. It's 9 songs, about a half hour long. The best way that I can explain this band is just sun-soaked garage punk. They're from San Diego, so that should tell you a little something. You do get that very beachy vibe. This came out on Fat Possum Records, which is a really large indie label, so that should also tell you something too about this. I love this album because to me, it's the most creative thing that they've put out, lyrically and musically. It's all about self-care and kind of getting rid of those toxic things in your life and those toxic people as well too. One of my favorite tracks is going to be the title track, Hideway. It's got this super warm and like fuzzy feeling right off the bat. There's this little like tambourine kind of in the background that makes you feel like you're at home almost, you know what I mean? It's just that very comforting kind of vibe. But I love the lyrics of this whole album, and this song in particular has one of my favorites. Today could be anything I want it to be, and that's going to be a reflection of me, and I think that's awesome, and that's something that we should all live by all the time. So that was hands down like one of my favorite things here, and it sucked me right in to listen to the rest of this album. I love Nathan's vocals all the time, but here he's got a little more, I don't want to say grit to his voice, but it's a little rougher than usual. Kind of reminds me of the latest Decent Criminal that's been out too, and I really dig the shit out of that. Another song that really stuck out to me is going to be Honeycomb, and it's placed halfway through this album, and I think they did a great job with that because it slows this way the fuck down. Lyrically, it's super relatable. It kind of talks about how, you know, you're overwhelmed and you're drowning, but you're going by and yeah, everything's okay. I'm going to be all right. It's a new day, all this and that. And I think that's something that we kind of need to, yeah, this is how it needs to be. We need to take this day to day and I'm going to be okay. So to hear somebody singing about it in such a calming way about being overwhelmed, I think is pretty great. And it made me feel a lot better about being so goddamn overwhelmed all the time. The last song on there that really stuck out to me, my all-time favorite on here, is going to be called Marine Life. The drums in this song, I absolutely love it. The lyrics, everything about this song is great. The melodies here are beautiful. The harmonies in here have like a little doo-wop kind of vibe to it. This is definitely an album you're going to want to check out. Throw it on when you're driving down the road on a beautiful sunny day. It is perfect and it's going to make you feel light and airy. Terry, who you spinning this week?
So I decided to go to Queensland, Australia. Ooh, far. So these guys are called Fake News. They released an album just last month called Everyday Warrior. They're a 5-piece. The album is 12 songs, about 31 minutes long. This album kind of confused me. I'm going to be honest here. Sometimes when I listen to brand new albums from an artist that I'm, not very familiar with, I like to kind of see who they kind of sound like, or if they kind of follow certain influences, because that helps me in, like, when I'm talking about them. So it opens up with Checking In. It's a very strong skate punk song. I really had, I kind of heard that like Lagwagon, but then I heard that Pennywise, but then it was the vocals that really threw me off, because the vocals to me sounded incredibly familiar, but I just could not put my finger on it. And I'm like, I really enjoyed the song. It was fantastic. It's fast, it's hard. It had, the riffs and the choruses are definitely catchy. They definitely have me all hooked from the start to the finish, and especially checking in because it's such a nice, fast and hard song. I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, kind of get stuck. So, it kind of had me, just because of that, I really hooked in. So then I go to listen down in a little while, and then it's No Innocence. And you're starting to hear more influences. You definitely hear that melodic comes through, the metal, a little bit of metalcore comes through, and I was like, oh, maybe it's like, a Willem scream. They kind of just follow that set pattern too, and I was like, no, that just isn't it. Innocence is a little bit more of that heavier. You definitely get more of that melodic and post-hardcore, but it just could not, the vocals still threw me off. It wasn't the fact, like, it's hard for me to explain because the vocals were not perfect on this, and it didn't matter. They were still on, they still definitely stayed within, their tune. It was definitely part of the song, but it was just not, it wasn't like somebody who's been singing for like 30 years and had like training or anything. It was definitely kind of what you saw, that DIY, that skatepunk, the stuff that we love, but it still sounded so familiar. It's just all week, you guys, it's been messing with my brain. I finally get to Numbered Areas. Fantastic song, the hooks, the riffs. That song does not follow a pattern, but at the same time follows its own song's patterns. And you definitely get that metal influence, especially in the opening riffs and actually throughout the song. And then he starts singing this, and it came to the chorus, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, you guys. It was Propaganda. And Chris's voice, what Chris would usually sing for Propaganda, definitely came through in all of it. It was kind of like the whole like sky opened up, and it actually kind of opened like a next level of like listening to the song, because then it just kind of all really made sense to me. And it was kind of sounded like Propaganda, but it was still within their own style, which was fantastic. And once I kind of put the two and two together, I was sold. It was absolutely, truly fantastic. From verse to chorus, this song, it confused me, because where I thought the chorus should have been, and then they decided to just put a half riff in, and then go into the chorus, and then put another half riff in, where I thought maybe the chorus would extend. Propaganda did that similar style with several of their songs, so I was like, wow, these guys are freaking fantastic. I can't, especially Numbered Areas, I definitely recommend the song because it will have you absolutely hooked to this band. But yeah, truly fantastic. Make sure you go grab yourself a copy. Guess this brings us to our shout out portion. Laura, who are you shouting out this week?
So I know that we always try to shout out singles and things like that, but once in a while a cool comp or a cool EP sneaks through, and I can't not say anything. So this week I am going to shout out No Pants Records. They just put out their very first comp. It's called No Pants Records, The Comp, Volume 1, and it is loaded with a bunch of badass bands on there, really showcasing the No Pants roster. A couple of our favorites are featured on here. You got the Filthy Lowdown, City Escape Artists, Latter Day Skanks, and so much more. So I recommend you head over to their Bandcamp and snag it, because you will not be disappointed. Terry, who are you shouting out this week?
Well, we know that the clock is ticking, guys. We're only just shy of 3 weeks away from camp. It is.
That's terrifying.
It's right around the corner. It's incredibly exciting. As of shoot date, I don't know if I'm driving in or flying in, but I'm going to be there. So I'm very excited to meet you guys. It's been a long time coming. So it's going to finally happen. Make sure that, you come say hello. I'm gonna be the frazzled, crazy one in the back. But yeah, no, definitely. Hello, I'm gonna have a huge hug for you. But I'm gonna go with a camp band. I know we didn't cover camp band, Laura.
I know. Well, we shouted out two of them briefly, but it doesn't really count.
We're gonna put a music video on. So we have Stolen Wheelchairs, already a ghost. Now, if you don't know, Stolen Wheelchairs is right before the headliners on Friday night at Camp Punksylvania. So make sure you come grab your tickets if you haven't already. CampPunksylvania.com. It's happening September 9th, 10th, 11th in Artemis, PA. And you guys, you have a wicked week, and we will see you next time.